The day had started like any other in the small, dusty town where Raj, a humble mechanic, spent his life elbow-deep in grease and engines. His shop was cramped, the walls covered in years of oil stains, and the smell of petrol clung to him like a second skin. Yet Raj didn't complain. He found pride in fixing what others called broken, taking the impossible and making it run smoothly again. Life, however, had been far less forgiving to him. He lived in a modest room above the shop, surviving on meager earnings and simple meals, often going to bed hungry. But he never let despair shadow his gentle heart. Little did he know, today would change his life in ways he could never anticipate. It began with laughter that cut through the morning air like a blade. A group of wealthy young men from the neighboring city, notorious for their pranks, had come to Raj's shop under the guise of needing urgent car repairs. In reality, they were scouting for someone they could humiliate, someone unsuspecting, for their latest joke. Their target was Raj, the poor, hard-working mechanic, whose quiet life made him an easy mark. They concocted a plan to set him up on a blind date, painting it as an unexpected opportunity with a woman from a wealthy family. They imagined the shock on his face when he arrived at a luxurious restaurant, expecting a normal day, only to discover the truth. Raj, unaware of the prank, accepted the invitation with his usual humility, feeling a mix of nervous excitement and disbelief. Before we continue, if you believe in kindness, second chances, and the power of small gestures to change lives, make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe to our channel. It helps stories like this reach more hearts who need them. When Raj arrived at the restaurant, he was immediately struck by the grandeur. Chandeliers sparkled overhead, polished marble floors reflected his hesitant steps, and elegantly dressed patrons chatted over clinking glasses. He felt out of place, the sleeves of his grease-stained shirt suddenly heavy against his skin. He held his breath, fearing ridicule, yet determined to keep his dignity intact. The woman waiting for him looked nothing like what he expected. She had the kind of quiet elegance that seemed effortless, her eyes soft yet discerning. She was the daughter of the CEO of one of the largest corporations in the country, a world Raj had never imagined entering. When she greeted him with a simple, warm smile, Raj's heart pounded in a mixture of fear and awe. The night began awkwardly. The pranksters hid in a corner, barely able to contain their laughter, whispering as they observed Raj fumbling through polite conversation. He spoke with honesty, telling stories of his childhood, his struggles with poverty, and his dreams of owning a proper repair shop one day. Despite his nerves, there was a sincerity in his words that could not be manufactured, a quiet dignity that shone through his humble exterior. The CEO's daughter, Mira, listened intently. Unlike the others who judged by appearances, she saw him, not the grime, not the modest clothes, but the man beneath it. There was a resilience in Raj, a kindness that came from a life of hardship, and a genuine respect for others that was increasingly rare in the world she knew. As he spoke, Mira felt a strange pull, a connection that defied social barriers, an unspoken understanding of each other's humanity. Hours passed, and the prank seemed to lose its edge. Mira, intrigued and moved, leaned closer and said softly, "I like him." The words were simple, yet they carried a weight that stunned everyone present. The pranksters froze, their amusement giving way to disbelief. For the first time, their plan was unraveling in front of their eyes. Raj's face turned red, but not from embarrassment. It was a blush of confusion, humility, and something that felt dangerously like hope. He had never been liked, truly liked, by someone from a world so far removed from his own. He stammered, attempting to thank her, but words failed him. Mira's gaze, full of curiosity and kindness, reassured him. In that moment, the world seemed to shrink to just the two of them, the rest fading into background noise. Over the next few weeks, Raj and Mira's connection deepened. The prank, which had been intended to humiliate, instead became the catalyst for a bond neither had expected. They spent time together in simple ways that meant the most, walking through crowded markets, sharing meals at modest eateries, laughing over shared jokes, and confiding fears and dreams. Mira learned of Raj's struggles, his sacrifices, and his unwavering honesty. Raj discovered Mira's longing for authenticity, her desire to escape the suffocating expectations of wealth, and her genuine interest in the lives of ordinary people. Yet, the road was far from smooth. Raj faced internal battles, questioning whether someone like Mira could ever truly see him for who he was, or if she was enchanted by the novelty of his world. Meanwhile, Mira grappled with societal pressures and family expectations. She knew her father would never approve of her spending time with a poor mechanic, especially one who had unknowingly become the subject of a cruel joke. The tension was palpable, and every meeting carried the weight of potential heartbreak. One rainy afternoon, Mira arrived at Raj's shop, the sky a heavy gray, rain dripping from the eaves. She found him working on an old car, his hands coated in grease, sweat mingling with the rain on his brow. She watched silently, marveling at his dedication and skill. The simplicity of his life, the authenticity in his actions, struck her deeply. She stepped forward and said nothing at first, simply offering a quiet companionship. Raj looked up, surprised to see her standing in the rain, and something unspoken passed between them, a shared recognition of the other's courage and vulnerability. Time seemed to stand still in those moments. Mira realized that love was not about wealth or status. It was about seeing someone wholly, embracing their imperfections and valuing their soul above all else. Raj began to understand that his worth was not measured by the dirt under his nails or the modesty of his clothing, but by the integrity and kindness that defined him. Their connection became a refuge, a sanctuary from the judgments of the world, and a testament to the unexpected ways life could bring people together. Despite the growing bond, challenges arose. The pranksters, embarrassed by their failure and resentful of the genuine connection forming, attempted to sow doubt and discord. Rumors spread, and Raj was confronted with moments of ridicule from people who saw him as overstepping his place in society. But Mira stood steadfast, defending him quietly yet fiercely, showing that love could not be dictated by societal boundaries. Her unwavering support gave Raj strength, and together, they began to envision a future where their worlds, so different, could coexist. Raj's life slowly began to change. The story of the prank and the unexpected connection reached the local community. People admired his integrity, his skill, and the way he carried himself with dignity despite adversity. His reputation grew beyond the dusty streets and small garages. Yet, for all the recognition and praise, he remained grounded, never forgetting the life he had lived and the struggles that shaped him. Mira, too, found liberation in the simplicity and authenticity of Raj's world, shedding the weight of expectations that had confined her for so long. Their journey culminated in a moment of quiet triumph. On a serene evening, Raj completed the restoration of an old car he had been working on for months, the vehicle now gleaming as if reborn. Mira stood beside him, her hand finding his, a silent affirmation of the path they had walked together. The prank that had once sought to humiliate became a story of resilience, honesty, and love that transcended social divides. In that garage, amidst the smell of oil and rain-soaked streets, they found something far more valuable than wealth or status. They found each other. As the story of Raj and Mira spread, it became a beacon of hope for those who believed that love could overcome obstacles, that kindness could defy cynicism, and that life had a way of rewarding those with genuine hearts. Their tale reminded everyone that sometimes the universe has its own way of correcting injustices, of turning ridicule into opportunity and despair into joy. Before we close this story, if it touched your heart even a little, please take a moment to like, comment, and share this video. It helps us bring more stories of hope and inspiration to people around the world. And don't forget to leave a comment below telling us which part of Raj and Mira's journey moved you the most. It means so much to hear from you. In the end, Raj and Mira proved that love is not about appearances or circumstances, but about the courage to see the truth in another person and to embrace it fully. They showed that even when life seems intent on mocking you, sincerity, perseverance, and an open heart can create miracles. The mechanic who once feared ridicule now walked confidently beside a woman who saw him for who he truly was, a man deserving of respect, admiration, and love. Their story became a quiet revolution against superficiality, a reminder that sometimes the most unexpected connections are the ones that change everything. And so, in a world that often prizes wealth, status, and appearances, Raj and Mira's story stands as proof that genuine kindness and unwavering honesty can bridge even the widest of gaps. The laughter that once threatened to humiliate Raj transformed into joy, understanding, and love. And as they faced the future together, their hearts were light with the knowledge that life, in its mysterious way, had finally given them what they deserved: a chance to be truly seen, cherished, and loved.